Everyone, now is exactly the time for the online Rock Your Data Book Club Meet. And my name is Ty. I'm here to share with you and pick one topic on the area that you're able to apply in your work. And today, the topic I'm going to pick is on the page. I'm flipping to the page. Okay, which page? Okay, it's page 28. Page 28. It says vertical table. So we will learn why we want to turn our data into vertical table and what are the ways we are able to do this one. I will be able to share with you some of the methods that you're able to do this in your computer, depending on the version of the Excel you have. And I will be using one AI tool to help you to achieve that. So let's get started. So now I'm going to turn to my screen. As you can see on the screen, this is the normal data. Sometimes the report we download from a system, it may appear something like this one. This is a little bit common, and sometimes people tend to they just tend to say, okay, this is the data, and they just not quite sure how to go about it. And just for information, let me show you. Just for information, this kind of things is not easy for analysis. What does that mean? If now I see the data, everything like here, the month, everything, it goes vertically. If let's say there are new months coming in, most likely it will add at the side and keep on adding towards right side. If there are new team coming in, most likely it will add at the bottom and all the way going towards down. So this is a bit two-dimension table. So it grows two ways, either on the right side and at the bottom. So this is a two-dimension table. If I say I want to do analysis, back to example, I want to know February and March, but only for Alpha and Bravo. So this method is a little bit tedious, and I need to select this one manually. And if I say my boss want to do a different analysis, this is really not easy for you. And furthermore, if I want to filter, I'm only able to filter by individual month. And for their team member, if let's say I want to go selecting both at the same time, this kind of data structure definitely is a big no-no. It's not able to handle that kind of work. So let's see how we're able to get this thing done. There are few methods. The first method I'm going to share with you is called Power Query. Power Query is also known as get and transform. So if you are using Excel 2016 and above, you are able to go to the data. Inside the data at the far left side, you will see it has an option says get and transform. This one, it allows you to transform the data in the way that you're looking for. So I'm just go a little bit faster and a bit direct. So I will just go and create this one, click on this one from table and range. And whenever I have this one selected, and you will notice the whole thing is selected. And because it has no blank and no merging, so it will automatically select the whole range by default. And I can just press OK. You'll notice it will bring you to a place called Power Query Editor. And it will wait for a while. And now I just need to switch to Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor, I will do a quick brief run through what are the things you could do inside here. And on the left side, it shows what are the queries available. Queries means the data you brought into Power Query. It could be in the same file or another file, or possibly go to a database or a web page. So it will list down all the queries you have. Meanwhile, on the right side, it shows all the steps that you have performed on the data in the middle. So the data in the middle is a data view. You are able to see how the things looks like depending on the step you have selected. If let's say in between I make some mistakes, I want to undo. Unfortunately, there's a nothing called undo button inside Power Query. So what we could do is we just go to here at the bottom, go to the side, there's X. Just click on the X, and then if the step is able to gone for good. And if let's say after you have mistakenly removed the step and you want to undo the removal of the step, sorry, there's no such thing called undo the removal of the step. So you just need to re-perform the step. So this is how the Power Query works. And a general nutshell, how we're able to do the transformation inside Power Query is relies easily or heavily using mouse. by using the mouse alone, you can do a lot of magic inside here. Let me show you. Maybe now I want to resequence my column. So I want to have a January, February, March. I want to move them in a reverse order. So I want to see March, February, and Jan. So I will need to drag the March, drag on the header, and going towards right side and let go. At the same time, you will notice it has a new step added. It says reordered columns. So this corresponding to the action I have performed inside here. And if let's say I want to continue by resequence the January towards the end, I drag on the header using mouse and going towards the back. And you'll notice it has no additional step added because this one is the same action. So they'll be categorized inside the same step. And after that, I realized this is not the step I want to do and I want to remove it. So I could just go to the X and click to remove it. So now it's back to the correct sequence just now, January, February, and March. So these are things we can do. And sometimes, for example, the text, I want to turn the text to uppercase. I could just right click and you will see a lot of options available inside here. One of them is say transform. Transform, I want to change the text to either lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, trim, clean. I want to find number of alphabet using length and so on. So everything inside here. Maybe in some situation, you want to take out certain alphabet and you want to replace with another one that is called replace values. So there's a lot of things. In Excel, we have something called text to column. We can split the column. There's something similar here as well. We can go for split column. Well, I believe this one will give you some idea what are the things you could do inside Power Query. So let's go back to our topic. So now our data here, it has a 2-dimension table. I want to make it everything vertical. So I want to maintain the team name because this one is a vertical, that's correct. And I want to have one column just for the month, another column for all the numbers corresponding to respective month and the team. So therefore, I want to maintain the team. So I will click on the team column header, right click, and at the bottom, you will see there's something called Unpivot other columns. The purpose of Unpivot, that means now it was horizontally expand. I want to bring them down to have one column for respective value. So at the end of this action, I will expect to see 3 columns. Let's see the result. So let me zoom out and I click Unpivot other columns. And let's wait for a while and ta-da! And you will notice on the right side, there is an additional step it added. It says Unpivot other columns. So that means this is done correctly. Before I bring the data back to Excel, I want to make sure the header name is much more meaningful. Here is a little bit too general. After Unpivot, these are the usual header name it will automatically given to you. That is attribute and values. And now I want to rename the header. To rename the header, I could just go to them and double click on the header, double click. And I want to change the wording attribute to month. After you key in this one, press enter to confirm. And bear in mind, inside Power Query, everything is case sensitive. That means uppercase and lowercase, they are totally different data or different header as well. So just be careful about the header or everything inside the text inside Power Pivot. And this one, I want to change it to amount. Double click on the value. Double click, I want to change it to amount and press enter. Okay, this is good. And I want to bring this whole thing back to Excel. I could go to home. On the far left side, you will see there's option says close and load. I will encourage you to click on the upper half. If you click on the lower half, it will give you more options. In order to keep this session a little bit simpler, just click on the upper half. It will bring whatever data you see on the screen back to Excel and it will create a brand new worksheet for you. So let's click close and load on the upper half. And let me zoom out. Let's wait for a while. You will see a brand new worksheet added. And at the same time, at the right side, you will see there's a queries and connections. So it will show what is the table you have added. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is perfect. If let's say I want to turn this off, queries and connection, I can just click on the X button. If let's say I want to bring it back again, I will just go to data and click on the queries and connections. And you will see it brings us back. And just in case you need to do some correction, or maybe you want to do some adjustment on this Power Query, inside queries and connection, and you can just double click and it brings you back to Power Query editor. Let me show you how. Double click is go back to the Power Query editor, and you will see the whole thing. It will take a while to load depending on your computer resources. So now everything is loaded. You can perform additional steps if you want to. And after you have done, you can click close and load to bring it back to Excel. So now I do not want to change anything. I could just close it without saving any changes. So you can see it brings back to Excel. So this is a very first method of using Power Query to transform the data from two-dimensional table like this one. It grows horizontally for the month and it grows vertically for the team. And this two-dimensional table now is officially changed to vertical table. Everything, whenever there's a new data, is only one way to grow, which is grow at the bottom. Everything goes vertically. If let's say boss want me to do analysis, it's much more easier now compared to the table just now. This one I can go for analysis. I can filter by the month, go by the team, and maybe I want to go by the amount as well. So it has greater flexibility by using vertical table. So this is Power Query. And after using a Power Query, the next one I want to show you is using formula. And this formula that will be something to do with dynamic formula. Dynamic formula or dynamic array, this is only available in Excel 2021 and above. That means inclusive of 365. And if let's say you are using Excel Online, you are able to use this as well. Excel Online, it has this thing as well. So this is called dynamic array. Dynamic array, the meaning of array, it means it takes on more than one input and it output more than one output as well. So that means I want to turn this whole thing, this whole bunch into a vertical table. Let's see how we're able to do this. And because I do not want it to be influenced by the table, so I will copy the whole thing. I will go to a brand new worksheet and paste it over here as values. So this is what I want to do. And I want to turn that into vertical table. Prior to that, I want to include the header. This will be the team, and that will be the month. And the next one that will be amount. So let me turn them into bold. And in order to get this thing done correctly, I will be using something, a multiple formula. Whenever we are using multiple formula, I will be explaining to you the logic behind so that you're able to appreciate why we are doing all these things. First, I want to turn them into, I want to combine all the numbers together. First, I want to say to column, just equal TOC and two column. You can see it says return the array as one column. So everything will be vertical. So this is the first step of turning the data into vertical. So to column and press tab key, you ask for array. Array is where is the data? The data is I want to select the column. So this is the header, is one of the column. And I want to have a separator. I will use ampersand, double quote, pipe. Pipe is a vertical character and double quote. And I want to continue with the next one, ampersand. And I want to go for the header. Header, which is a Jan, Feb, and March. I want to select the header. Then I want to continue with ampersand, double quote, pipe, double quote. Now we are using the pipe vertical character to separate the data horizontally. So let's continue. Ampersand, and the remaining is the number. Okay, let's select all the numbers. As you can see, I'm selecting more than one cell for the formula. And after that, I will just press enter let me close parenthesis and press enter. You'll notice everything becomes vertical. So let me expand the column width, and you are able to see them in this way. So let me show you. Alpha Gen 1 is this number, Alpha Gen 1. That this is Alpha Feb 89, Alpha Feb 39, 89. And this is Alpha March 79, Alpha March 79. So as you can see, everything now is grow vertically one by one. So this is a very good start. And the next one is I want to combine them together to a one continuous stretch of string. Then with the one continuous stretch of string, later I can ask Excel using dynamic array formula to split them into respective column and row. So this is the next thing we are going to do. So let me go and edit the formula. Go to the very beginning. After the equal sign, I want to use something called text join. I want to use a different alphabet to differentiate them. So I will use something called text join, tab key, and it will ask for delimiter. What are the character, or what is the character is going to separate individual row? So I want to use comma. Bear in mind, whenever the character you are using, provided they are not using in your data. If your data has comma, you want to use something else, maybe semicolon or some other alphabet, just to avoid the confusion. So in my data here, I don't have any comma. So therefore, I will just double quote, comma, double quote, and continue with comma. And you ask whether is my data has any empty and that I want to ignore. So currently my data has nothing. So it's no difference whether it's true or false. So I just go for true and comma. You will ask what is the data after that. Okay, very good. So let me zoom out. So I will remains the previous formula until the end, and I will go until the last one and press close parenthesis and press enter. You notice everything now it turns into one continuous stretch of string. So let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah. So you can see this is the first row and it has a comma, second row has a comma, and third row has a comma. So this one is one by one. And I want to, after this is done, the next thing is I want to split them into a table. So that is called text split. Okay, let's go to the front, edit the formula. There's something called text split, tab key. And text split, we have something very, very useful. And we have a column delimiter and row delimiter. The column delimiter we are using in our data is vertical pipe. Okay. And the row delimiter, that means individual row, they are separated by comma. So this is what we have. And we are going to ask text split function to split them accordingly. So after we have key in the text split and go towards the end, and comma is asking for column delimiter. So I can double quote, and that will be pipe and double quote, and continue with comma, double quote, comma, double quote. So once done, close parenthesis. Let's zoom out, and now it's the moment of truth and press enter, and ta-da, job done. Let's observe if let's say any changes on the number. For example, alpha gen, this is number 9. If I change it to 99, I press enter. Observe the number also get updated. So this is the power of using dynamic array, and this one is only available for Excel Online 2021 and 365 and plus above. Either is using Mac or Windows, they are also available. So it's a very, very different way of using dynamic array to unpivot a data. So this is the second thing I want to show with you. So this is using dynamic array. So let me copy the data again and paste it inside here. The third method is very, very interesting. It's called macro or VBA or some programming stuff inside. And now I want to show you how we're able to use ChatGPT to help us to do this easily. But in order for us to use ChatGPT, we need to sign up. If you haven't, you can use a free account. It's available for you. And now in the current recording, the free version allows us to use ChatGPT 3.5. If you have the budget, you want to use something much more advanced, you can go and subscribe. So for this situation, the free version is good enough. So now let me go back to ChatGPT. Okay, I have signed in to the ChatGPT, and at the bottom, it will ask you for the prompt. Prompt means the command you want it to do. So now this is my style. Usually I will make sure the connection is okay. I will type this one, hey bro, enter. So it will just give me some response. Okay, this is for me to do testing. Okay, the connection is okay. And subsequently, I will type the command or the prompt, I need the help. Okay, I will type, I need your help to create VBA code to unpivot 4 columns data and maintain first. Okay, presume, okay, I just put it this way. I don't want to put too much. Okay, unpivot 4 columns data. I just do this way and press enter. Okay, let's see how does it goes. Okay, now it's about to say this one. Okay, it will give you some instruction. It start generating the code behind the scene. And the best thing about the code generator, each line or each block of the code, it will give you the command. Command, it means it describes what is the data it does. Okay, so I just go here. Okay, maybe I'm not quite sure how this thing is working, and I just copy code and go down. It will show you how to do this. Because I have no idea how to do this, I will say, hey, I have no idea on how to insert this to Excel. If you have no idea, you can type this way, and you will give you the instruction on how to do this. I say, open Excel file, then Alt F11 and go to View, Project Explorer, and continue. Okay, you would see the code, and it will say how to run it. So this is very good. And also remember to save your file as a macro-enabled workbook to retain the VBA code. So that's it's a sound advice. So let me go back to my Excel file. Let's open it. Now I press Alt F11, go to my, wait, where is the thing? Okay, go to my file. Where is my file? Hey, let's go for this one. It is go to a different screen. Let's go here. So inside here, I have this is blank file, and I want to insert a new module. So I could just go to insert module, or if I want to use this method, I can go to View, Project Explorer. Whenever you click on the Project Explorer, you will see something like this appears. And I could just right-click one of them and choose Insert Module. And it will create a module like this one for you. And let me zoom out. And I will just paste it. Presume I have no idea how it does. And I will just do this. And I want to run this. And I will expect some error. I will expect some error. So now, in order for me to do a testing, so this is the things you need to learn. ChatGPT unable to substitute the testing. So I want to have 2 screens side by side. One is Excel, another one is a VB. So to do this inside Windows, you can press the Windows key left or Windows key right. So now I want to move this one towards the right side of the Windows key right. And you will ask me what's the next screen. I will just go for the Excel. So after this is done, and I want to run this in the slow motion just to test it out, Okay, I can press F8. Okay, it says variable not defined. Okay, whenever you encounter this error, do not need to be afraid. Type this back to ChatGPT. Okay, now I press OK. So let's go back to ChatGPT. I say, hey, it gives me error, variable not defined. Press enter. Let's see how it goes. Okay, and one good thing is about ChatGPT, it will apologize for the oversight. But now it has done some changes, and yeah, okay, now it's doing something here. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's it. So I can copy the code and go back to Excel, the VB. Okay, I will just go up and just replace inside here. Okay, good one. So I'm going to run this in slow motion by pressing F8. If I'm using a laptop, Whenever we press F8, it becomes a brightness, volume, and so on. If that is the situation, you want to combine with the function and F8. So in the section like this one, I will just mention the shortcut key, the actual shortcut key. The function key, all these things is very specific to the laptop or the certain keyboard design. So I will not mention. So whenever you hear me, I say F8, but you press F8, it doesn't work, just add on the function key. Okay, so let's continue. Now I will press F8 to run in a slow motion. And you can see it's go to sheet 1 and you attempt to do something here. Okay, I see nothing happen. Okay, it seems like nothing happened. I know what goes wrong. I want to continue. Let's run this. Okay. Because this one, it says go to sheet 1. If I go to sheet 1, it just mess up my data here. I don't want to go to specific sheet 1, which is not the way we want to have. I want to go for the current worksheet. So I want to go back and ChatGPT, start giving ChatGPT more direction. So I want to say, hey, it always go back to sheet 1 and mess up my other data. Please unpivot on current worksheet. Enter. Okay, so I have provided some more direction. And one thing is apologize for the inconvenience. So now it does some changes and it will just regenerate the code. And after it's done, I will just need to copy and paste it again. So let's go back up and copy and go back to my VB. Okay, I want to paste it over here. Now I want to run this in the slow motion again. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit in Excel, zoom out a little bit. So let's see the movement. Okay, it says team, Jan, Feb, March. Okay, you can see it just weird. It doesn't change to a different place. Okay, it has some error. So, okay, let me stop. I know this is not working. I will just go back to ChatGPT again and give more specific instruction. Hey, it is not working. It always output to same cell. Please output it to a brand new worksheet. Okay, now I just do this. I have given much more clearer direction. I do not want to output the result on the same worksheet, but I want to go to a different worksheet. Press enter and let's see how it goes. Okay, so now again, you can see apologize for confusion by ChatGPT. Okay, it's quite a nice way to work with ChatGPT in this context. Okay, now it's generated the code. Okay, now it's done, and I want to go up here and copy code. And let's go back to my ChatGPT, and I want to select them, and I want to run this again. Okay, so then it goes to the new worksheet. Okay, team, Jan, Feb. Okay. Okay. Okay, you can see everything it changes on the same row. It doesn't go to the next row. Okay. So I need to stop this one. And it has something very seriously wrong. Okay. Hey, this is seriously wrong as it always override itself. Please create a header in new worksheet and output the data in the blank rows under the unpivot output sheet. Okay, enter. So I have given some more clarification, and now it's about to do this again. Okay, so let's wait for a while for it to generate. Whenever we are doing something like this one, you will notice it will give you more and more ideas, and let's wait for a while. Okay. So okay, press. Let's see what it does. Okay, then press copy code, and now I need to go back to my VB. I will just copy and paste it over here. And now I want to run this. Okay, this is the worksheet I don't want. I want to remove it because here's some data that is quite a mess. Okay, let me remove, clean up. Okay, let's run this. Okay, let's go to Unpivot. Okay, as a header, values, team, Jan, Fab. Hey, this is seriously wrong, seriously wrong. Okay, okay, now I know this is a little bit out of line. Okay, so now I need to go back and start giving a screen to ChatGPT. It just mess up the whole thing. Okay, let's see what are the things we can do. And one good thing is about ChatGPT, it depends on the command that you are giving. If let's say it's like this one, I give some preset of 4 columns kind of things, it will presume it's 4 columns. So if that's the case, right, I need to break the previous assumption. Say, hey, okay, hey, please rewrite the code to unpivot data on current worksheet, and it will output to a brand new worksheet. It should work for any number of columns. Enter. So now I want to give some instruction. Okay, it shouldn't define for 4 columns. It should be more than that. Okay, let's wait for a while. Okay, this first time I encountered such thing. It's quite interesting. Let's see header values. Okay, I realized it. You can see this one, add header to new sheet, header values. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have a feeling it will give me some headache as well. Okay, because the code is rather similar. Just copy. Let's go back up here and paste it. Okay, so I want to go back here and delete the worksheet, and I want to run this again. Run this again. Okay. Alpha. Okay, it just doesn't work again. Incremental row for each one. Okay. Row count. Okay, destination range. Okay, it just doesn't work. Okay, then stop. So I realized the destination is always overwriting on the same row. So because I roughly know what the code does, so I would say, hey, the output column, the output is always overwriting on the same row. Please double check to ensure the incremental is done correctly. Okay, so I now feel a little bit mad about ChatGPT. Yeah, come on, I need to have something to work. Okay, it's okay. So if let's say this one really doesn't work, it's perfectly okay. You can restart, you can create a brand new chat again so that it doesn't have a prior memory what has been done. Okay, so let's header. Okay, I see the header should have 3 columns. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, let's copy. I have a feeling that I need to recreate this ChatGPT again. Okay, let's do this. So I don't need this one. I delete. And let's run this one. Okay, alpha, Charlie. Okay, at least now it is working a little bit better. At least I can see the number, but I don't see the months. Okay, so now, okay, I think it's enough. Let's go back and start recreate, just in case this thing happen. Okay, do not need to be feared. Just go back, go to the left side, and there's something called new chat. Just click new chat, and it will start afresh. So, hey, I need your help to create VBA code to unpivot an Excel worksheet. Enter. Very simple, straightforward. Let's see how the result looks like. And because of different session, it may behave a little bit differently. The code, maybe using the same prompt or same command, it will give you slightly different results, which is very interesting on how it works. Okay, it's a little bit different now. Okay, it says it will ask you what to do. Before running the code, make sure to do the following. change the worksheet name and go to this one. Okay, you will have a destination to Unpivot range. Okay, good, good, good. So now at least it gives me some idea what to do and what to change. So now I can just click copy and let's go back here and I want to write the whole thing. Okay, so it says the sheet 1. So now I want to say this is a sheet 2. I just change it to sheet 2. And the current region, let's arrange a little bit. So it also says the Unpivot. Okay, Unpivot. Okay, Unpivot range. Okay, Unpivot range. It has something called Unpivot. Just now I see. Change. Okay, change it to actual sheet name. Okay, now I want to run this and let's see how does it goes. Okay. You can see it's unpivoted range, current range clear. It's clear existing data in unpivoted range. Okay, so I realized that is an error. So I will just copy this one. Just copy. Whenever you run this one in slow motion, step by step, you realize that's a mistake. Just go back and feedback to ChatGPT. This line clear my data. Please ensure it does not remove my data. Okay, let's press enter. Let's see how it goes. Okay, now I start working on it. Okay. Okay, that's much more better. Yep. Okay, so now I can just copy. Just go back here. And I want to remove this one and I want to change this one to sheet 2. Just now it was sheet 2 and the data has been clear. What I need to do, just copy lah. Just copy back to here. And now I want to run this in slow motion by pressing F8. Okay. So you see the data, Jan, Feb. Okay. It's much more promising. It's much more promising. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I just press F5 to let you run. Okay, now it gives me the result, Jan, Feb, March. Okay, March is not there, but it is there. Okay, so if that's the case happen, right? So I will just go back and do ChatGPT say, of course, sometimes I want to acknowledge the thing is working. Hey, this is working and need some help to ensure it does not have blank, which column? 1, 2, 3, 4. Blank column. Okay, blank last column. Okay, press enter. Okay. So now it is updated the code and it's going to do something here. And so you can see there are slight changes in between them. Okay. Okay, good, good. Okay, good. So and I can just copy the code and go back to my VB and just paste it over here. So now I need to clear this data. Okay, good. So I can just press F5. Done. Nothing happened. Okay, let's run in slow motion because I run too fast. Oh, it's go to sheet 1. Yeah, it goes to sheet 1. Okay, if it's in the sheet 1, because it goes a little bit off. So I need to make sure I change it to sheet 2. It's my bad. Okay, I need to stop here and run this again. Okay, team gen. Okay, I realized the header. It makes a little bit off. Okay. Let's copy the header to the Unpivot range. Okay, so I realize this is a mistake. The output only has 3 columns, i.e. team, and what else? Team, month, and amount. Please get this right in the code. Thanks. Okay, press enter. Need to do something. It looks like it's much more difficult at the very beginning to give the command inside here. Some of you, if let's say are quite good with the code, you will say, yeah, it's faster for me to type it. So sometimes it's a good way for you to train a ChatGPT so that next time you log in, it knows what you are looking for. Okay, so now it's almost done. I can just copy the code and let's go back here again. So I want to replace it and I want to make sure I change it to sheet 2. So I remove the extra one. Just remove it. Okay, let's see. Okay, team amount. Okay, very good. Okay, let's run it until the end. Okay, very good. So now it works correctly. And if you want to further fine-tune, you are able to adjust it further on. So these are the 3 methods we are able to use it. And as you can see, the timing we use for the Power Query is rather straightforward. We just load the data and just unpivot. And meanwhile, the second one, it uses dynamic array, which is something like this one. Okay, then dynamic array, it was here. It was overwritten somewhere here. It was overwritten. So that means it's able to get the result right. And whenever the source data changes, it will get updated as well. And just now, this one is just a little bit restrict. And of course, I need to do further fine tuning if I want to. I don't want to have all these things within the same worksheet. I want to go to different worksheet and I want to go some other things as well. It's also possible. Of course, this one, I need to give more command. Whenever this is done right, it will definitely help you to turn your data from 2-dimensional data into vertical, that 1-dimensional data. Let me show you one more thing. I am a bit excited now. And let's go to the table data here. Just this one is added using Power Query. One beauty about Power Query, whenever there's a new column added and new row added, whenever you refresh, it's able to pick up as well. So now I have a Jan, Feb, March, and the next one is April. Maybe I want to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and the next one maybe 60. So I want to have echo. After echo, maybe I put Juliet. Juliet is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, so I have something like this one added. And in order for the Power Pivot to pick up the new column and new data at the bottom, we just need to go to the pivot table or the Power Query. I just need to right click on one of them and click refresh. Let's wait for a while. You will notice I have a new data called Juliet added in, and it has a April. So let me filter using the April. And this is a new data I just added 10, 20, 30, up to 60. It's exactly the same thing here. So depending on the method you want to use, and both of them, they have their own pros and cons. Personally, if whenever possible, this is my personal preference, I will prefer to use Power Query because it allows greater flexibility and not so much of the coding and on the things I need to do. And best thing is, if any changes, I just need to refresh and I can use this data here inside my analysis. Maybe I'm reporting or pivot table. Okay, that is the things I'm sharing up to now. I hope this small sharings is able to give you some idea how you are able to turn your data from horizontally or 2-dimensional table into a single dimension vertical table. And the next one, we are going to pick up other topic, and hopefully I'm able to see you in next